Hello, everybody there, right there, on the Joe Cronin Show. The heart.
This is my dear loyal lieutenant, Brother Cronin. He's a good man.
Attitude, insanity. You're watching the Joe Cronin Show. You guys seriously listen to this guy?
What's up, wrestling fans? Welcome to State of the WWE, I believe episode 81. I hope to God it is, because otherwise I'm stupid. We are going to be doing a podcast here. As you know, we always do this. I'm here with Jake DeMarco and Devious Dave Rose. Before we start, I want to let you know that tomorrow at SmackDown, Tuesday, SmackDown in Mohegan Sun, I will be doing kind of like a meetup. I'll be hanging around before the show. 5:30 p.m. I'll be at Johnny Rockets giving away a Sting card. If anybody, the first person that comes up to me and says, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, or do you smell what The Rock is cooking, rather, I will give you the Sting signed card that's worth anywhere between $30 and $100.
Can I win the card?
No.
Oh.
No. We have tickets. I don't know where we're sitting yet because we're getting special tickets, and I can't say anything else. So I don't know where we're sitting, so don't ask me until I'm there. When I'm there, I'll know where I'm sitting. I wish I knew, but I don't know. But all I know is I'm happy to be going.
Johnny Rockets is delicious.
And yeah, you know, I wanted to do a party after SmackDown, but I don't know what's open over there at Mohegan Sun. There's all these different things, and things
Everything,
are open.
nothing ever closes there. It's like
really?
a playground for adults.
Well, like the Wolf's
24/7.
Den, it said like, oh, you know, it said all the scheduled shows, but then it didn't say anything for Tuesday. So I'm like, does that mean it's not open? And then other things said the bar wasn't open. So,
well, the Wolf's Den is just the it's almost like a cabaret theater. They have free shows there, basically. So that might not have anything going on, but they still have a huge bar area, and that's always running, even though the Wolf's Den bar isn't open.
If anybody doesn't know, I put up a video, and please go to the video. It's still up there now. Me talking about a meet and greet at SmackDown, and vote when you're going to be there and if you're going to be there. I'm talking to the people at Mohegan Sun, and I was going to say if I could get at least 20 to 30 people or more, we should all go to some party and just open up one of those venues that isn't open, because one of the guys said, hey, you know, if you can sell 30 or 40, whatever the fuck, we'll open it. And I was like, shit, really? So I'm talking to them about that. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, on to the New Day tonight. Monday Night Raw. And before we get to the New Day, actually, one more thing. Jim Cornette did come on the show the other day. And, of course, we've all known, ever since the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express was, inducted into the Hall of Fame. We all said, obviously, Jim Cornette has to be the guy to induct him. So we asked him about it the other day. We found out today that Jim Cornette will be the one inducting them. Unbelievable. But just a few days on the show, on the Joe Cronin Show via the Bowling Alley podcast, Jim Cornette talked to us about that. Listen to his response then. He knew. Well, no, Jim, of course we're talking about the Rock and Roll Express. Come on.
One Christmas miracle at a time, folks. One Christmas miracle at a time.
Hey,
you're lucky that they've even decided that they know who the Rock and Roll Express are.
Well, when you think Rock and Roll Express, I think you think, and that's when Kenny, we talked about the Midnight Express really being the name that everyone should remember. But there you go. It's he knew one Christmas miracle at a time. I guarantee he knew at that point. But you never know. He could have gotten called today for all we know. I don't know. Dave, Jake, what do you guys think about Jim Cornette going into the inducting? He's not in the Hall of Fame, is he? He's inducting the Rock and Roll Express. Well, he's got to be next, right?
Maybe they'll just wait till he dies.
Well,
that seems what they do normally.
Well, you know something? If they, think about this. If they had Vader go in, wouldn't Jim Cornette be the first choice for Vader to be inducted as well?
Absolutely.
So, I don't know what you do. And say next year you decided to put Cornette in the Hall of Fame and then you put Vader in the Hall of Fame. Well, then does Cornette can't present and go in? So, you're really starting to fuck around here. Somebody's going to get left out is what I'm saying. And apparently Vader's dying. I think WWE doesn't even believe Vader. I think they think it's just a work so he can get in the Hall of Fame. But he looks...
God knows.
Trust me, I saw him in the ring. I called this match last year. Vader is fucking dying, okay?
He did not look in good health when you showed us that video. He looked, unfortunately, very ill.
I feel bad for him. By the way, if anybody wants to help out, Rico still has a GoFundMe, and so doesn't Sabu for his hip surgery. So just if anybody's wondering and wants to help out Rico or Sabu, their GoFundMes, just Google them. You'll find them, and they're legit. And there's a lot of money put in there. Anyway, let's move on. Dave, when do you think what do you think about Jim Cornette inducting the Rock and Roll Express or the Midnight Express into the Hall of Fame?
I think it's a great way to get eyes onto the Hall of Fame ceremony.
I agree, and it's also they should be in there. So that's the first thing, is they should be in there. It works from the standpoint of they should be in there. The second thing is that all the smart fans and all the old school fans even might tune into this now. If some guy who maybe stopped watching WWE in 1998 or 2000 or 2005 or whatever the fuck, and he's like 50 or 60 years old, he hears about Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express going in, Jim Cornette coming along. Those guys might be interested if those guys ever even hear about this. But now I want to switch gears into the New Day tonight. Everyone said, first we did a show on the New Day being left off the house shows this weekend. We speculated that was just because of Xavier Woods' gaming show that he had to be at and some of the shooting he had to do for that and the video game stuff. But it also coincides with being conveniently leaving him off house shows during this whole sex tape scandal thing. Then it was revealed via news sources that, well, no, he was going to be off those shows anyway. Then it was said that they're going to be off Raw because of the heat. And remember, Raw is in Brooklyn tonight. But the honest answer is we really don't know if the New Day is not going to be there or going to be there. In my opinion, you have to have the New Day come out tonight because that place will explode. I don't care if they chant, "You fucked Paige." The New Day will be the most over thing of the entire night if you bring the New Day out tonight. I am telling you, and that may ruin some plans too. That could be why they don't do it, right? They're in Daniel Bryan territory tonight. If the New Day comes out, that crowd is going to come, right?
Yeah, they would. They'd probably be up for cheering or chanting or doing something. It would be a good way to get a pop, but maybe it's not the best way because, again, this goes back to the whole China situation a little bit in regards to you've got a blemish on their supposed record, and because of that, they don't want to have anything to do with her and so forth. But this comes out, and it sort of forces a decision by WWE to decide, okay, well, do we go with the cheap heat, or do we just keep them off TV to avoid any complications, as again, considering the fact that they are a publicly traded company, that they do have this image to maintain, and they are still sort of gearing themselves towards the PG audience. Although this, like we discussed previously, 10 years ago would have been perfectly fine. It would have actually helped out even more by having them come out on the Monday. So yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with you in
it's
fully
bullshit
in the
if they
sense
do
that
it.
they should come out. Would it have a good effect? Well, it would have an effect. Would it be good? Well, that depends on what the shareholders think. Now, unfortunately, not what the fans think.
It's not going to happen, though. And if they happen, well, I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does happen, it's
I don't
bullshit.
think so.
It's a contradiction, and it's bullshit because if they come out, that means you said China can't be in the Hall of Fame because she was in a sex tape. But now you're saying that it's okay the New Day was in sex tapes. Also, Seth Rollins showed his dick all over the place, and you can Google that.
Exactly.
So the whole thing's a sham.
I was going to bring that up, too. So
Jake, the whole thing's a fucking sham. The bottom line is WWE hates fucking China. They hate her corpse. They hate her face. They hate everything she did. And that's the bottom line.
They hate everything about her, unfortunately, and they just, the whole thing was a shit show. And think about it, too. I mean, especially tonight. Never mind the fact that they're in Brooklyn. I mean, that crowd's really raucous. They're pretty smarky. Shout out to Tiffany. I know she's going. A bunch of people made signs saying Paige went up, up, down, down. I've been retweeting stuff that's hilarious left and right. Think about it. The New Day usually go off script anyways.
I'm sorry,
they make
Jake.
comments all the times.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just thought of if fans ran in the ring and began to reenact the thing.
You have people that dress up in the audience. You get somebody as Brad Maddox with the camera down low. I mean, it could be iconic in one sense if they did acknowledge it and did something like you had said, where two of them are still in the other two are in New Day attire and Xavier comes out, all mopey and sad and, things like that. But they've look at the comments Big E said about Charlotte in the past about, you're trying to beat your father's record with the title win, stuff like that. They always kind of go off the script and make these little smarky comments. So if they do come out, can Vince trust them on the microphone anyways? I mean,
yeah,
God knows. I don't know.
He loves them.
WWE must just be scared and fuming at this point combined. They must be frustrated, aggravated, and nervous all in one. I don't know what they're thinking. I have no idea at all, but we'll find out tonight. I mean, we're going to know
because whatever they do on Raw, we're going to know. If New Day isn't there, you're going to know that it's part of this situation. And, these people might chant for this shit anyway. We want New Day. I mean, if they're not there, they're going to be, we want New Day, and they'll start chanting it anyway. Like,
it's a double-edged sword.
This is going to put the New Day over, I think. I mean, I'm really expecting, like, tonight. I am really, really expecting, because this is a smart crowd. If they were in, like, fucking Toledo, fucking California, or, like, I don't even know if that's a place, Tennessee, somewhere in Tennessee or someplace, I could see, like 20% of the crowd yelling stuff, but the rest has
Minnesota
no clue.
Again, something like that. It would be a disaster.
Like,
but
there's
here
kids,
tonight, people are going to chant Paige on top,
Yeah, like, there's kids at those places, too. So, like, even, like, people like us who want to chant stuff, we kind of look around and go, fuck, I'm not going to chant. Fuck Paige and fucked Paige or whatever. That's deterred me in the past. I've been at WWE events, and I've had kids around me, and I've been like, damn it, it's going to be a quiet night. But, I've been at other WWE shows, and I look around and I go, damn, it's all adult guys. It's on tonight, and that's what's going to happen in Brooklyn tonight.
Well, Dave's right, too, because when I used to go back in 99, 98, 2000, around then, there was no, hey, let's look around and see what happens. People just chanted whatever the hell they wanted.
Well, and the kids that were there were some of the most vicious people. It was great.
Yeah. I actually had Triple H get in my face once and start flexing his muscle and told me to shut the F up and, sit down at a SmackDown taping.
That's awesome.
I kept giving him shit. That was the only time I ever sat ringside. I was going nuts.
That's a badge of honor to wear.
And I was maybe 12, 11. And just running my mouth.
The game says shut the fuck up.
And then now it's exactly like you said. There's so many youngins in the audience. You look around, you're like, you kind of hesitate. So
it depends on the show.
Either way, they're ruthless in Brooklyn, and I'm dying to see what happens. But don't forget, our main event of the evening tonight is Braun Strowman versus the big dog, Roman Reigns. So
again.
No.
Get excited about that.
So the Undertaker's showing up.
Again, this is a blockbuster announcement here. This is a huge, huge match. I don't want to see it either.
Do you think the Undertaker shows up then? Because
Bleacher Report said, will Undertaker show up, or will the Monster Among Men have to instead settle into being filler for WrestleMania? So are they just going to have Roman go over again? Are they going to do the stupid gong stuff where they just ring the bell again?
I thought I couldn't wait till the next thing. I dead serious about this. I really believed that the next thing was going to be the classic, like, Roman Reigns' body coming down or something. You know what I mean? Image. Yeah, the look-alike of Reigns in a body bag. I swear to God, they're doing that. I promise you.
I'm sure they'll do some sort of head game, because, and when you look back to WrestleMania build-ups, excluding Shawn Michaels and even the Triple H one, the rest of them were never too. Well, the Punk one was good too, but before that, in recent years, like WrestleMania 20, we didn't even see The Undertaker until the night of WrestleMania, and that's when Paul Bearer returned. I was there the night when they had the funeral for The Undertaker, and, Kane trashed the casket because he didn't show up right before WrestleMania 20. And then previous before that, Undertaker would send these ominous signs to Bray Wyatt and set his rocking chair on fire, and, so he might not even show up. I bet you we don't even see him until, Mania at this point.
I only
you really
believe,
think they're going to have him there?
Well, the only reason why I said this like weeks ago or a month ago or something like that, I said I feel like we're going to see The Undertaker more than usual, only because he's trying to make sure that he helps build the rivalry to build Roman Reigns. Because I think Undertaker is all in for, let me get this guy over, let's get this guy, let's get them to the next level.
If you're looking to diffuse tonight's potential backlash because of the New Day, this would be a one way of doing it.
You're right.
Yeah, if there's no Taker, I don't know. And you're right.
I can generally imagine like them sending the corporate jet directly to the Undertaker and getting them flown, right out to Brooklyn just to do this at the last moment. I could kind of see that happening if they're looking to diffuse the whole leak situation.
Yeah, they might do it.
As far as tonight goes, last night on the 19th in Pennsylvania, we got to see Finn Balor at a house show take on Jinder Mahal, juicing my balls, And
I missed it. It was at Amherst, Mass, I think, right?
Yeah, it was a I think it was.
I was thinking about going, dude. John Cena wrestled AJ Styles too. Or
maybe
no, I'm
you're
thinking
right.
about last night. I'm thinking about 2 days ago. I don't know if this is the same thing.
This said Pennsylvania and Hershey, but
okay,
I don't know.
Show.
But any event, because the picture showed in Hershey, Pennsylvania, Finn Balor went to war and his back looked like hell on the WWE Instagram account. But people are saying that, he's at the arena already today. That doesn't mean much, so he still might be showing up, though. I'm in your camp more so now, Joe, thinking that we don't see him until Mania. I think they're trying to save him. But, I mean, I really felt like if he didn't show up last week, then we wouldn't see him until WrestleMania. That's how I felt. And especially after the moment they had with Seth Rollins being beat down and the way that Finn would fit into the card, he didn't run out to save Seth, so I don't know how he would fit into this angle until WrestleMania times. Another thing we have to look forward to is Dana Brooke. Is she going to, demand a fight for the title now since she split with Charlotte? And everything that happened with Mick Foley, where things going to go from there. So, I mean, that's pretty much what we're left with for Raw Fallout.
Where we gonna go from here? I would say, do you think that, obviously, to me, this is very obvious, this is not The Undertaker's last WrestleMania. He will be at the next WrestleMania and perhaps even one more after that now. But I think next year is his last WrestleMania, but I said that a WrestleMania ago, so I don't know really what's going on. But I would definitely say that this year is not his last WrestleMania, and I don't think they've made mentions of careers that Roman has. But also, do you think Braun Strowman gets added to this thing? Because why is Braun going? I mean, I know Braun's there to buffer because Undertaker's not there, which is what makes you think Undertaker won't be there even more, because Braun is sort of there to, for something for Roman to do while he's getting to WrestleMania. But then what does Braun do at WrestleMania when he's such a big name at this point?
I really don't know. I think he's going to be the one to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Right now, confirmed for the Battle Royal is Apollo Crews, Mojo Rawley, Big Show, and Kurt Hawkins. So, I mean, we have 10 matches, I believe, set so far. Yeah, 10 matches officially announced for the WrestleMania card. We got Goldberg and Lesnar, Wyatt and Orton, Bayley versus Charlotte versus Sasha, and Alexa Bliss versus everyone, Undertaker, Roman, Cena and Nikki versus Miz and Maurice, Jericho and Owens, Neville versus Austin Aries, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Enzo and Cass versus Cesaro and Sheamus,
Jesus.
The Memorial, and then the New Day will be the host, and then the one that's still iffy is Seth and Triple H. And then we also have Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. So it's a big card already.
If Seth and Triple H can happen, like, in a real match, if they're, like, ready to go for real, if Seth's really ready to wrestle and they can go, and Shane and AJ Styles delivers, this does have the potential to be pretty good. But, it's up to that shit.
Yeah, I mean, the Wrestling Observer newsletter also reported over the weekend that Nia Jax might be added to the Raw Women's Championship match, making it a fatal four-way.
I can't
instead of a triple threat.
I can't stand those, man. I want to see a one-on-one battle for a women's championship, and we're not going to get it in either match now.
And then, as you're mentioning before, I forgot about this article. I got a bunch of tabs open. I'm sorry. WWE is also teasing The Undertaker's retirement at WrestleMania. So you said, is he going to be there for many more years and more WrestleManias to come? But the WWE has a poll up on their website over the weekend asking fans if they think Roman Reigns will retire The Undertaker. The poll choices are: yes, the big dog will end the Phenom's in-ring career; no, Reigns may win the match but won't end the career of the dead man; and no, not only will Reigns not end the Undertaker's career, he won't win the match. As of the time the article was written, 52% of the votes said no, Roman won't win and he won't end his career. But just the fact that they're bringing that up is kind of teasing this, Yeah. We've seen the polls kind of, omnipotent, be omnipotent and predict things to come. So they kind of gauge the audience's, view of things. So we'll see,
Pull up those WrestleMania betting odds if you got those. I think Wrestling Inc. and somebody else reported those the other day if you got them.
Yeah, I'll pull those up quick.
Dave, what do you think about all this shit?
To be quite honest, I'm not really looking forward to WrestleMania this year.
It sounds like it, man. What is
It's
there?
just, I don't know. It. Look, and you guys remember this too. When we were younger, it seemed like a half year was used to build up WrestleMania. It technically is the Christmas of the wrestling industry almost. And I don't know. I'm really disappointed, in what we've seen in the past year from WWE and just the total lack of foresight when it comes to building stories and such. It's been very disappointing with all the injuries as well. I don't know. I mean, it's not that I'm saying that all the matches are shit, but to me, a big aspect of that is the build-up towards that match, because that essentially is why we're tuning in. And I just don't feel it's been done very well this year.
Dave, I wanted to say, I feel like Shane McMahon and Triple H are kind of like one and the same, as the point being that AJ Styles, he's getting the CM Punk treatment that he got. Well, how he said in the interview with Cole Cabana, well, Vince McMahon's telling this to Punk, well, you're facing Triple H. It's a great match, No, you're not in the main event, but, that is the main event because you're fighting Triple H. And I feel like they're giving the same line to AJ. Well, you're fighting Shane McMahon. He's a legend. Look at all he's done. He fought the Undertaker last year. So you don't need to be in the title match for the main event. You're fighting Shane McMahon, and it's that. I feel like AJ should have been facing Bray, they're or even the champion.
Yeah, it really does.
And I love the story they have with Orton and Bray too. I'm just saying, I agree with you. There's a lack of long-term booking.
Well,
the only thing that's been thought out was Seth and Triple H, and that's in danger of not happening.
The only way I could forgive this is if at SummerSlam or at WrestleMania next year, they've planned out Nakamura and AJ. If they're thinking about doing that, that's different. But why didn't they just, they really should have just gotten into it this year. But I could see SummerSlam. Couldn't you see SummerSlam? You know what I mean? Nakamura, AJ Styles. That I could definitely see that booked for SummerSlam. That would be huge.
I'd love to see that.
That happens.
Everybody would.
That should be the main event of WrestleMania. I mean, like the Orton thing. What Orton and Wyatt are doing is good. Like, it's definitely good. They're in the right direction. But to me, I gotta be honest. The Randy and Bray thing. It feels like that's a match that should have happened at WrestleMania, but the belt is on Bray. It almost feels like the belt shouldn't be there. As much as like we, screamed and yelled for Bray to be the champion finally, it doesn't fit for me here. I don't feel like he's really the champion. I feel like the story is, which is always, I guess, should or could or whatever, the story has overtaken the fact that Bray has that belt. They really don't need that belt at all. I feel like, but AJ Styles holding the belt would have felt a lot better, or at least challenging Bray for the belt. I don't know. I guess I'm ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what I'm complaining about because
I get your point though. It's like, we're having New York strip steak, but we didn't get our fillet, so we're complaining.
Yeah,
like we still have something good happening. It's just not what we wanted. We got lobster instead of the steak, or vice versa.
See, I would have booked. I would have booked Bray Wyatt. Believe it, this is crazy to me. I know that people. First of all, Bray Wyatt would have won the championship a long time ago for me. And we would be at the point where Bray Wyatt would probably actually be wrestling Shane McMahon. I would have Bray Wyatt against Shane McMahon in some kind of, fucking crazy street fight thing or something. And I think Bray Wyatt and Shane McMahon would have a great time doing that. And I would have booked AJ Styles versus, somebody else. But that would have been all stuff done months ago leading to WrestleMania. But we're nowhere near that, so whatever.
Yeah.
And again,
all right, you want me to pull up the betting odds, Joe?
Yeah, let me see the betting odds of WrestleMania at this point.
I'm always going to be reading the favorite first, so I'm not going to go through all the odds, 1 to 16, 6 to 1, because that's Lesnar and Goldberg.
Yeah.
So basically, if you bet $1, or to win $1, you'd have to bet 16 on Lesnar. But if you bet $1 on Goldberg, you win 6. So, I mean, that's how it's going at this point. So they're choosing Lesnar by a long shot over Goldberg, Wyatt by a good margin, Orton by a good margin over Wyatt, Bayley over Sasha and Charlotte, Owens over Jericho, Neville over Aries, the Club over Cass and Enzo and Sheamus and Cesaro, Roman over The Undertaker, and that's 8-13 and 6-5. So I mean, there's still a semi-close margin there, but that's going to change a lot, I guarantee. Before, and by the way, these are the European odds. The American odds have yet to been posted. So.
Oh, we don't trust those European. No, I'm just kidding. I would say.
And then Cena, Nikki, and AJ over Shane, and Seth over Triple H. So
the only one I don't agree with is I don't agree with Enzo and Cass. I think Enzo and Cass are going to capture the titles.
I think they are too. I think they're finally going to get it. And an interesting thing to note here is that their basic top 3 or 4 really for the Battle Memorial is Braun Strowman, Big Show, Samoa Joe, and then Shinsuke Nakamura.
I do think that there's a possible in that match for it to come. It's going to come down to like Big Show and Braun Strowman, and if Nakamura showed up, Jesus, that'd be nuts. But
for some reason, Stone Cold Steve Austin is even on the list at 33-1 odds.
Oh my God! Imagine that. That would blow the fucking place in the next day. I will say that I do believe that it is very possible that the Big Show has a one-on-one match with somebody still. They want the Big Show to have a moment, I think. I think the Big Show deserves a moment. This is his last hurrah, and I really think they're giving him some kind of respect here at WrestleMania. I don't know what it's going to be, if it's going to be Hulk Hogan coming back to challenge the Big Show or something like that.
I wish they saved the Braun Strowman versus Big Show match. Originally, I would have, just telling us about it, I would have been like, oh, fuck me, running with a 2x4. Yeah. That sounds awful. But seeing what they gave us on that main event Raw was so good. It was so good.
It could be them too. It could definitely be Braun versus Big Show.
And I've watched it back too. It wasn't just because Raw is so terrible and they did such a good job that it was better just by comparison. No, they really gave us a solid big man match. They pulled out some high risk maneuvers even, and they did some pretty incredible things. And the athleticism and
what if they break the ring? What if they break the ring at WrestleMania? That'd be awesome.
Oh, that'd be something.
I mean, that would be very inconvenient to have to get that fixed during WrestleMania itself. But God, that would never be forgotten. I could totally see them, doing something like that at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, there's another, things to bet on, they're calling it, and top 5 predictions. They're saying that, the number 5 prediction is that Goldberg says goodbye and doesn't continue to wrestle, even though rumors say otherwise. That's one thing being passed around. Another is that Charlotte finally makes her heel turn. Number 3 is that...
Wait a minute, Charlotte makes her heel turn?
Excuse me, Sasha. Okay. I'm reading through these quickly. Yeah, Sasha makes her heel turn. Number 3 is that Finn Balor, that's when he finally makes his, re-debut. Number 2 is that Kurt Angle becomes the general manager. And number 1 is that Nakamura debuts in the Battle Royal.
Well, this is a lot of stuff that sounds like it's going to happen the night after WrestleMania, but that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I could picture Nakamura doing it since Ty Dillinger was in the Battle Royal last year. Wasn't somebody else in there too? Baron Corbin, right? Isn't that when he came up?
Yeah. He won it.
He won it. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like they haven't done it before. So that's a possibility. Another big rumor going around today, Joe, is that WWE rumors Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar could happen in 2018.
Where?
They're saying it could happen in another organization. As things stand, both Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar could become free agents and be free to face each other in another organization. The story is that in a very strange twist of fate, it's being rumored that the future of Daniel Bryan could dictate the future of Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's rumored return to the WWE, he's been here. He ended up taking a $2 million pay cut, though, from not being in the UFC anymore. And Brock's
why would he take less money at some other place? Who's going to pay him that much money?
I'm not sure, but his deal runs out next year, and his final match currently slated to take place at WrestleMania 34 next year. So they're saying past that, Daniel Bryan, on the other hand, since he's forced to not be able to compete in the WWE, he's itching to come back to wrestling. He wants to wrestle in another promotion.
I just thought of Cody Rhodes versus Daniel Bryan somewhere. Oh God.
even that, I mean, there's a lot of things. I don't take this Lesnar news, like you said, who's going to pay him this much money?
Nobody has the money.
This is what Sportskeeda's reporting. I mean, I understand where they're going.
Why has everybody been talking about that company recently? Isn't that the ones that made the Alexa Bliss thing that got into a Road Dogg?
I don't believe so, but
I thought it came from them. That they're an India place, aren't they?
No, not these guys, but
really, okay.
I'll double check that, but I don't believe so.
Dave, you're right over there?
Yeah, I'm just listening to you guys.
Dave hasn't had much to say this episode, I feel like.
Dave, what do you think we're going to get out of Raw tonight? Do you think there's going to be anything memorable or special? I mean, this is the second to last
crowd reaction is something that everyone should be looking for. I believe that, again, with such a smarky crowd, we have to expect something. How does WWE react is also something that we should have our eyes on, because who knows? Will they bring The Undertaker out to try to quell the commotion that's currently occurring? Are they just going to run with it, not have the New Day there, and see how that goes? Are they just going to try to stay quiet and hopefully it goes to sleep? I mean, there's a lot of different things that we'll be looking for tonight in regards to how, not specifically on how the crowd reacts, but how the WWE organization reacts to the crowd. So I think that's probably the most intriguing aspect of tonight's Raw. Definitely not that main event again.
Yeah.
With Strowman and Reigns, but. And again, like I said previously, we're leading up to the road to WrestleMania, and I just really haven't had my interest piqued. So with these few short weeks that we have left, I'm not expecting much from Raw either way.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be lazy time. Real quick, we want to talk about the Paige situation a little bit more, and I guess her dad has some kind of comments. We'll get into that in a second from Jake. But I want to say thank you very much. I'm talking to you, listeners. I want to... fucking goofy. Dude, I just totally sat on my balls. That was weird. Am I getting that old? I'm 32. Josh, did anyone else ever sit on their balls? Josh Jenkins just... added to his pledge on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. I want to thank you for becoming a member of the Cronin Club for $5. Now he's become a $10 patron, so thank you to Josh Jenkins. Also, thank you to Adam Linkos for $5, Cronin Club member now. Edwin Quinn for $1 a month. Mike Bobbitt as well for $5 a month. Carlo, he's on for $1 a month, or High's on for $1 a month. Sorry, dude, if I fucked up your name. I hope I didn't fuck it up. It's like when people call me Conan. It's Cronin. Casey Wood pledged $10, so I wanted to shout out Casey. What do we got? Spiderland Time pledged $5 as well. Paul C. still going with $5 a month. Thank you very much. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Not trying to be a shyster here. I'm just trying to shout out the people that support, because you guys' money is what funds me, so I am at your mercy. Going forward, let's talk about Paige's father. What is this news? I haven't heard this, Jake. I've heard a lot of things, but as far as Paige's nudes and sex tape goes, I want to see Paige's dad's sex tape. How about that?
Well, Paige's father, Ricky Knight, took to his Facebook page to write about the photos and videos of his daughter that were leaked online.
I wouldn't do that.
This is from ringsidenews.com. So they say that he's talking about her having sexual relations with other WWE-related personalities.
Oh my God.
In the message, he reveals that he is worried about her mental health and urged people to back off. The quote says, "My last say on the scandal surrounding my daughter, I have just spoken to her over Facebook. I am worried for her mental health, or worse off. For fuck's sake, world, get a grip. She has not killed anyone, robbed anyone. She was having sex in a private situation between consenting adults, and then has been betrayed by some lowlives. And as her dad, I urge people to back off, please. As I say, I am very worried for her. It will be no good backing her when it's too late, like many other celebrities who have left us." So kind of almost saying that he feels like she's suicidal over this and really worried for her mental health.
She shouldn't
urging people to please, stop.
I hope not, because she shouldn't be. Fuck this. Who cares this shit came out? You know what I mean? Fuck that stuff.
Well, from the tone of her father's tweets and such, it sounds like, again, his family's fairly open to this sort of thing and very non-judgmental. So if that's the sort of support that she has in her parents, because her mother also tweeted out the other day showing a lot of support for her, I believe that this would be a good rock for her, that this will provide some good stability, considering the fact that, again, the family's not going nuts about, oh, we're prudes and you did something evil. They're like, hey, this is something normal. You know, unfortunately, the situation revealed that somebody betrayed her and so forth. But it seems that she does have that support from home, which is a good thing.
I mean, listen.
Exactly, Dave. People have sex. People use butt plugs. People go ahead and have threesomes while Brad Maddox films them. You know, things happen.
I love the Terminator picture of him, by the way. That all the Terminator memes with him are hilarious.
Those are great.
I want to say thank you to them.
Sometimes people get facials while holding the NXT Women's Championship. You know, it's a normal way of life. Things happen.
You know, imagine in the 80s if the internet existed, what we would have been seeing.
Ric Flair alone, you know, some legend said that the other day. Thank God they didn't have cameras when I was out. I think it was Flair, but somebody had said that. So
yeah, you would have had like hookers like passed out like on cocaine in their ass, like in Flair. So it's like I don't care. This is humanity, and I'm fine with it. I love Paige even more for providing us with this entertainment. I hope it doesn't come at the cost of her mental state. But you know, at the same time, first of all, if I could go back and stop this, I would. I would. People make jokes like I'd release more. You know, it's fun to joke about. But I mean, if I really could stop these from coming out, I would have. I have no control over this whatsoever. I'm just some guy talking about this on a podcast. But if I had some magical powers where I could go back in time, you know, I would have protected her. But
that's what I said. I mean, it was a true invasion of privacy. You know, at the end of the day, you know, it's just too much. It is, you know.
And
granted,
people
yes,
are ridiculous.
She should have been more careful. And who's to say you can't, you know, create these things and all that? That wasn't what I was trying to say previously. I just said be careful about it because things like this, you know, can be leaked in the public eye. But I never was insinuating not to take pictures. I just said, as you said, you know, be careful. Use a separate hard drive. Don't do it on a phone that's connected to an iCloud, you know. But after her 60-day suspension back on October 10th of 2016, and you know her neck surgery and everything that's happened to her in the past, everything with Del Rio, you know, it's just a lot for her to take. And if her father and mother are worried for her mental safety at this point, I mean, it's just terrible all around.
It's very, I mean, definitely it's a humiliating situation, and it's not like she was hoping for these things to come out. They were done in the privacy of her life, and really it is nobody's business what she does in her life. As long as it's consensual and it's legal, it's none of our business. It is very sad that these photos have come out, and I would have to agree to a certain extent that this sort of humiliation publicly can lead to a lot of stress, and considering the photo with the NXT title, that may lead to some very serious repercussions.
Yeah, I don't, and we don't know what those are, but we've already been upset at her anyway, and then she's had 2 suspensions, and
well, now the website The Sun went ahead and said WWE can now take action against the Brit, whose real name is, you know, Sarah Jade Bevis, and since she's already had, you know, a second wellness policy violation, though this doesn't coincide with a wellness violation, but taking that into consideration, that this could be her being terminated from her contract.
Yeah,
but like we said before, then they have to punish Xavier Woods as well. So it's a very sticky
and potentially
situation.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
potentially. Because the thing is, Xavier Woods, it didn't look like it was his video camera or anything like that. So he was just a third party in this.
Yes.
So this being revealed, although it's not a direct action of his, a direct result of his actions, if you're going to start to punish one person for nudes being released, then there would have to be others to be punished as well. Yeah. However, I feel the title issue is a different one altogether, and it is, you know, it is quite disrespectful, and I'm sure that the higher-ups at the WWE will be very concerned about that particular action, and I really do think that this might be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah, well, that's why they threw out. Maybe that's why they threw out the Divas title, because it had AIDS all over it. Well, guys, shit, I don't fucking know. There was some other things that we could possibly get to, but I think we've run out of time. I hope you guys can click the like button down below. Share this video everywhere you can. Leave a comment. We want to hear your comments down below. There's also some comments that you guys left me from the video that I put up yesterday about me going to SmackDown. So I'm going to answer that in a separate video coming out probably after this video. Maybe right before Raw, that video maybe go up, or maybe tomorrow morning. I don't fucking even know.
There we go. And Joe, that
yes.
website that reported everything about Alexa Bliss was WrestlingNewsSource.com, and those assholes seem to get everything wrong. So
yeah, that's not a real. There's all these fake news sites and stupid.
I don't ever cite them in any source.
So many people cite people though, and it's like a 13-year-old who's just making up shit to get views.
Well, JakeDeMarco.com says.
You know, I might just start covering all that news because it will get so like hit, like, and I'll be like, well, but according to Wrestling Source, you know, fucking Joe, like Johnny Joe, fucking who's like 15, who made a website. This is going on. Well, I love how I comment on it. I literally put it to Road Dogg because I knew it wasn't. I knew that. Here's what happened. I knew that website was bullshit with most of their stuff. So but
it was getting steam. It was getting picked up by a lot of people.
A little bit, yeah. But the reason why I asked Road Dogg was because I knew that Road Dogg would shoot it down publicly, and then I could make a video covering how that's fake. Now it could be somewhat real. Like, to be honest, like there could be someone internally they're having these discussions, and they told this person, and this person covered it. But do you think if I ask Road Dogg anything, that he's going to say, "Oh yes, Joe, that's true. We do have doubts about Alexa." Oh yes, Joe, that's of course he's not. So I asked him because I knew he was going to deny it, and then I was going to put it out as a news report. However, the wrestling industry picked up on it, and they all covered it as a news, and it became like the hottest news of the day until Paige showed her pussy. But you know, that's why I did it, and I don't think that a lot of these websites, they just post shit. So I don't think it's anybody that's really over there. It could be though, but again, Road Dogg is never going to say that. If I go, "Hey, Road Dogg, tell me, you know, I heard that, you know," say like Mickie James was in the back, and Mickie James flipped out and yelled at Alexa Bliss and said, like, "I'm sick of you. You suck. You hurt me again. Like, I'm mad." And then a news report came out saying Mickie James not happy with Alexa Bliss's wrestling ability. And then someone covered that. And I asked Road Dogg, "Hey, Road Dogg, was there a situation with Mickie, or hey, you know, Mike Rotundo, was there a situation with Mickie, or hey, fucking Fit Finlay, or whoever at the WWE, was there a situation?" You know what they're going to say? They're either not going to answer me, or they're going to say, "No, dude, I know what you're talking about. Everything's cool. We'll be on again next Tuesday." Why in the world would they ever say, "Oh, yes, Joe, there was an incident in the back. Let me tell you." You know, so, I mean, even though I made that tweet, I sort of made it to get publicity. You know what I mean? I created publicity with it. I knew I was going to get it. But I don't 100% disagree with the guy that, oh, because someone denies it from WWE, of course they're going to deny it. I would deny it. You know, if me and Dave Rose had some kind of weird argument off the air or something, and then somebody was like, "What is this true about you and Dave Rose arguing, and so this and this happened?" You know, most likely we'd probably just say, actually, we'd probably say it did happen because we don't give a shit to tell people the truth. But you know, if we were a corporate entity who was very protective,
well, if I was asked, and I didn't want to put it that way, if I was asked, "Well, is there a problem between Joe and Dave?" I would say, "Of course not. Everything's fine. Didn't you hear we just recorded State," or something like that. I wouldn't throw either one of you under the bus. So
that's
yeah,
right.
I understand your analogy.
So what the hell is, you know, you expect Road Dogg to be like, "Oh yes, of course, there's a problem." So I get why some people saying like that I was wrong or whatever, and it's true. I understand that, but I was literally just creating news that I knew we could create. But hey, why not ask the source? You know, you made this article. We don't know if it's true. Hey, guess what? What do you think about this? Anyway,
and showing support for Alexa Bliss at the same time.
We love Alexa, so that's the thing. Is fuck that stuff. Of course, there's talk about her. You know, hopefully her ability can get better because she's learning. She's new to. She's been fairly new, but she's done so well. Like you wouldn't even know it. And she's getting better and better and better. Will she get to Trish Stratus ability? Will she go beyond that? Who knows? It could happen. She's young, and she's a domination on the mic, and I wanted to dominate me in the bedroom. Subscribe, guys. Click that red subscribe button down below. Don't miss out on the daily videos. Plus, we're live after every WWE event. So tonight, we'll be live after Raw. We'll be taking your phone calls. We'll be live. We'll be chatting. There'll be thousands of you in there, and we'll have a fun time. Tomorrow night, I don't know what's going to happen because I'm going to SmackDown, if I'm going to broadcast live or have someone go live for me. We'll find that out. I'll let you know, perhaps. But I will be at SmackDown tomorrow, and I'll be there early in Mohegan Sun, so come out and visit. We're going to party before and after. Mohegan Sun, it's going to be a good time. And Jake DeMarco is going to be with me, too.
Hell yeah.
What are you, Stacy? Hey, Dave.
I was saying that long before he was.
Dave, say hi to your friend Stacy.
Oh, you just enraged Mr. Dave Rose.
All right, guys, more news to come. Check it out. And if you missed these other videos, check them out. Remember, lootcrate.com/Joe Cronin Show if you want to get the WWE Slam Crate featuring Stone Cold Steve Austin next month. Sign up for it now. lootcrate.com/Joe Cronin Show. Use the coupon code Joe Sent Me. And also support me if you guys want to monthly on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. We'll see you in the next video.